Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the class. In the last video lecture, we discussed the different types of the estimate and some basic terms which are very important from the engineering point of view. I hope all these terms have been cleared to you. Today we will try to solve some problems based on the preliminary estimate, in which we will try to solve our problem with the help of the plinth area rate estimate and the cubic content rate estimate. So moving on to the problem says to us we have to prepare a preliminary estimate of a 4-storied office building having a carpet area of 2000 meters square. The questionnaire also says that the 30% of the built-up area will be taken up by the corridors, verandas, lavatories, staircases, etc., and 10% of the built-up area is taken by the walls. After that, the other given data which is made available to us is that the plinth area rate is 950 per meter square, and then the extra due to the deep foundation at the site is 1% of the building cost. Then we have the extra for architectural treatment 0.5% of the building cost, extra for water supply and sanitary installation is 6% of the building cost, extra for electric installation is 12.5% of building cost, extra for other services is 5% of building cost. Then the contingencies and the supervision charges are 2.5% and the 8% respectively. One thing we need to remember here that the contingencies and the supervision charges are not calculated from the building cost, but they are calculated from the total cost of the building. Now in this question we are given the plinth area rate, but we are not given the plinth area, the built up area. The first aim is to find the plinth area, then we will multiply the plinth area by the plinth area rate and we will get the building cost, and we will calculate the all other charges which are given in the question, and we will get the total cost. Then the contingencies will be calculated and the supervision charges, and we will get the grand total of the our building. So the first thing here is to find out the plinth area of the building. Now what is plinth area? I have discussed it in the last lecture. It is the built up area. The only things which need not to be considered in the courtyards or the open areas or the cantilever projections. These things are to be excluded from the plinth area. That means the plinth area will consist of all the floors, the internal shafts, the area of the porches other than the cantilevered. So all these things will be considered in the plinth area. So let us suppose the area of plinth is x. So we will try to solve this by like this. Let us say plinth area is equal to x. So this x will be equivalent to, it will be equivalent to the, first of all, the carpet area. It will include the all the area occupied by corridors, verandas, lavatories, staircase, etc., plus area occupied by walls. The carpet area is given, which is 2000 meter square, plus the area occupied by the corridors, verandas, lavatories, staircases, it is also said in the question, it will occupy the 30% of the built up area, that is the 30% of the plinth area. The plinth area in we have considered to be x, so it will be 30% of the plinth area. Similarly, area occupied by the walls is given in the question, that will occupy the 10%, that is 10 divided by 100 times x. Now let us try to solve this question. This is a simple mathematics. 2000 plus 30x by 100 plus 10x by 100. So this will be equivalent to 2000 plus this will cancel out, so it will be 3 by 10 x plus 1 by 10x. So x will be equivalent to 2000 plus 3x by 10 plus 1x by 10. So the LCM will be 10, so this will be 20,000 plus 3x plus x. So this thing will be equivalent to 20,000 plus 4x divided by 10. Multiply this 10 with this x, we will get 10x is equivalent to 20,000 plus 4 times x. So this is 10x minus 4x is equivalent to 20,000. So what we'll get there? 6x is equivalent to 20,000. So x will be equivalent to 20,000 divided by 6. So 20,000 divided by 6 is 3,333.3. So this is the plinth area. So we have now calculated the plinth area, which is 3,333.3 meter square. After that, we will now calculate the building cost. Building cost will be equivalent to plinth area multiplied by plinth area rate. So the plinth area is now 3,333.3. The plinth area rate is given in the question, that is 950. So let's multiply it. So it is 3166663.50. So as of now we got the building cost, that is 31 lakh 66,663.50 rupees. So the next thing we will calculate, which is given in the question. Let me show you the extra due to the deep foundation of the site, that is 1% of the building cost. And now we will see the 1% of the building cost. Similarly, we will calculate the 0.5% of the building cost, and we will calculate the 6% of the building cost for the water supply and the sanitary installation. Similarly, we will calculate the 12.5% of the building cost for electric installation and 5% for the other services. Let me calculate these things. Now I have calculated for the deep foundation, that is 1% of the building cost, so that is 1 divided by 100 into 31 lakhs 66,663.5. that turns out to be this amount. Similarly, for the architectural work is the 0.5%, that is this amount, and similarly for the water supply and the sanitary installation, that is the 6% have been considered, and for the electrical installation 12.5%, this is the amount, and for the other services we will have 5%, and this is the amount. So we will calculate and we will get the total cost. As of now, the total cost is, first of all we will add the building cost, that is 31666, 3.5, add 3166.6 for the deep foundation. For architectural work, the amount is 15833.32. For the water supply and the sanitary installation, 6% makes up 18999.81. Similarly, for the electrical installation, 12.5% makes up 395832.93, and for the other services 5%, it makes 15833.17. the total we will get is 3958329.33. So this is the total cost so far. Now the contingencies will be 2.5% of the total cost. So that is 2.5 divided by 100 of the total cost is 3958329.33. that will be equal to, let me calculate it, is 98958.23. Now we will calculate for the supervision charges. Supervision charges, which are the 8% of the overall cost, that is 8 divided by 100 into 3958329.33. that will be equal to, let me calculate it, that will be equal to 31666.34. Now we will add this amount and this amount with this total cost, and we will get the grand total. So the grand total will be equal to, we will add them up, let me calculate it. It will be 434373953.90. this will be the grand total for this 4-story building using the preliminary estimate. Therefore, the only thing you need to remember about this is that the contingencies and the supervision charges, such kind of charges, you have to calculate them for the total cost and not for the building cost. This thing need to be remembered. So let us move to the second question, which will be based on the cubic content and the preliminary estimate, plinth area estimate, that will be based on the on these both. Okay, this is our next problem, in which a person has constructed a building, the plinth area equal to 120 meter square at the cost of 6 lakh, and the height of building is 3.2 meter from the ground level to the top of the roof, and the parapet wall of the height equal to 800 mm is also constructed on the terrace of such building. Now what we have to do, we have to determine the cost of the construction of the similar type of building with the plinth area equal to 150 meter square in the same locality based on the plinth area rate and the cubic content or the volume rate. So let us adopt the first method, that is the plinth area method. And in the plinth area method, we know we need two things. The number one is the plinth area, and the second is plinth area rate. In the previous question we saw we were given the plinth area rate but not the plinth area, and then we calculated the plinth area. In this question the plinth area is given, that is 150 meter square for the new building, and the previous building which has been constructed, the plinth area for that is given 120 meter square. So we also know the cost of that previous building is 6 lakh rupees and the plinth area is 120. So if we divide the total cost divided it by the plinth area, we will get the plinth area rate per meter square. So dividing it by 120, we get the plinth area rate, that is 5,000 rupees. So if we have to now determine the cost of the similar building, so we know the plinth area which is given 150, and we also know the rate. So what we will do, we will find out the cost of similar building, that will be the plinth area multiplied by the plinth area rate, that is 150 multiplied by 5,000, that will be 7,50,000. So moving on to the second method, that is the cubic content method. For that, the first thing that we need is the volume of the building, because in that method what we multiply the volume of the building with the uh, cubic meter rate. We multiply the cubic meter rate. So the first thing is we will find out the volume of the existing building, and we will see the cubic meter rate of the existing building. So the plinth area of the existing building, we know that that is the 120, and the height of the building is given, and we have to add the half of the parapet also there. So 120 multiply it by the height of the building, that is 3.2 given in the question. Half of the parapet will be 0.8 divided by 2, that will be 432 meter cubes is the volume of the existing building. So we can find out the cubic meter rate, simply divide the 6 lakh by the total volume, it will give us the rate of per meter cube. So this will be 6 lakh divided by 432, it will be 1388.89, say 1389. So if we try to find out the cost of the similar building, what we have to do, we have to find out the volume of the new building and multiply it by the rate we have already calculated. So let us try to find out the volume of the new building. So again what we will do, we will adopt the same formula which we adopted here, the plinth area multiplied by the height of the building from the ground level plus half of the parapet. So plinth area here is 150 and multiply it by the height of the building, that is 3.2 given in the question, plus 0.8 by 2 is the half of the parapet, it will be 540 meter cubes. So now we will calculate the cost of the similar building, that is simply what we will do, we will multiply the volume and the rate, we will get the 750,060, or we can say 7,50,000, which is similar to this one which we calculated here. So this is it. These kinds of numericals are asked in the examination also when these are based on the preliminary estimate. So in the next video lecture we will study the very important thing, that is how we take the measurements, in which we will see the two different methods. One is long wall and short wall method, and the other is center line method. These two methods will be discussed inshallah in the very next lecture. Thank you for joining the class.